Here we go. Yo, yo, yo. What up, though, man? Highrollaz in the building,
Yes,
man. How
sir.
y'all
Yes,
doing?
sir.
You
What's
already know
good?
we
Mogul
outside
Media.
when we here, Mogul Media,
It's
Rollers
facts.
Gang.
Hey, man, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all boys coming and sit down with me.
Yeah, for
You,
sure.
you know what I'm saying? It always feel good, man, to have a platform of diversity, man, with the Latin community coming in. And especially now that y'all always been pushing to get in hip hop, but now y'all got y'all putting y'all foot, y'all stamp is here now.
Yeah,
It's
facts.
just
Yeah.
like now it's transcending across cultures. It's not just staying in its own pocket.
Yeah,
Like,
hip hop group.
Blessed.
how do y'all feel about that? Like seeing that hip hop is now being accepted by everyone versus being cornered like
Certain
it once
places.
was.
I love it. I think it's dope. You know what I mean? It's long overdue because at the end of the day, I'm Puerto Rican. I'm from New York. So in the beginning of hip hop, the Puerto Ricans was there, the Dominicans, all them was there.
Facts.
So you know what I mean? It's been there from the start. You know what I mean? Just because we Puerto Rican doesn't mean we're not Hispanic. Feel me? So Hispanic and the black culture been together for a long time. It's just, you know, I think it's dope now. Feel me? Like I think
Yeah.
it's finally long overdue.
And it's dope that people actually take notice that, what I'm saying, that we're crossing over, like, even in the pop clubs and urban clubs and stuff like that. And it's a dope, it's a vibe, you know what I'm saying?
For sure, for sure. Like the other day, I had a chance to interview Doe Man,
Oh, yeah.
and
H-Town.
yeah, H Town
Yeah.
representing, and he was kind of breaking down like the cultures, like the culture for Hispanics vary from region to region. He was saying like in Houston, Mexicans and blacks, or in Texas, like Mexicans and blacks for the most part kind of get along and kind of live in the same community. Whereas you go like L.A., you like, like the Mexicans or whatever, they with the Mexicans. It's kind of like, why you trying to be black? Why you over here with them?
Yeah.
Being that, what I'm saying, y'all, this is y'all lifestyle, this is y'all culture. What is the differences have y'all seen between the communities from East Coast down south to West
Well,
Coast?
I don't think it's just black and brown. Like sometimes it's brown on brown. Like I noticed, like in Texas, when we started traveling, pushing our music, if you brown out here, you Mexican.
Okay.
But when I go to Florida, New York, if you brown, you could be Dominican or
Cuban.
Puerto Rican or Salvadorian or Cuban, Panamanian. Like you know what I'm saying? So
Got
it's
you.
like there's different racism, even brown on brown, just like black, you know what I'm saying? They got Africans blacks and then you got American blacks and they totally different. Same thing, I think.
I think the change is when you go to New York, there's no divide. Like over here, you got the black club, you got the Mexican club, you got the Hispanic. When you go to New York or the East Coast, not just New York, the East Coast or Florida, up that whole state, that whole side, everyone's blended together. You see the Hispanics with the blacks and everybody in the same club. There's no separation. But when you come to Dallas or just Texas alone, from my experience, it's like, damn, they're really segregated over here. Like not too much because everybody's blended, but at the same time, they're not hanging out with each other like that.
That's urban night, or that's
we was at the club last night. They had us booked last night, and a bunch of people like, yo, y'all know that's the black night. And I'm like, so like, the hell does that matter? Like, because
That's crazy.
that's to me it's insane. Like,
so they describe it like if you describe, the same club have different promoters different day. One day, it'll be all urban. Next day, it's all Mexicans. Next day, it's all college white kids.
It's crazy. You go into the Mexican club, you hear nothing but Puerto Rican music and shit. So it's like it's confusing to me. But it's all love, you know what I mean? We go out there, we blend in with everybody. It's all love, because we tap in all the cultures. You know what I mean?
We like our fans to just appreciate good music.
Got you.
We from two different cultures, and so we able to blend it all together.
So when you think like when you see hip hop right now, with it merging so many cultures together, I'm gonna jump out there and say that hip hop has probably made more contribution to racial equality than a lot of freedom fighters.
Yeah,
because you see little white kids, little Hispanic kids, little Asian kids, little African kids, Haitian kids all over the world who don't really see color no more under the banner of hip hop. They TikToking together, they talking,
they jamming the music because it helps them get by whatever situation they going through.
Hip hop became it went from just like a thing that became a hobby to something that's part of the culture. It's in every industry there is. Hip hop's the biggest. It's like the new rock. You know what I mean? Like rock in the '80s and '70s and all that was. This is the new rock, like because no matter what industry you're in, they're playing hip hop, and whether they like it or not, even the pop artists, they're trying to rap and they're trying to mix in that that vibe with their songs and all that. Feel me? Like
Yeah, you get new groups
EDM,
releasing
they
Sparks and
EDM and music, the hip hop songs, hardcore hip hop songs, and some EDM trap music. It's crazy. It's dope. You know what I mean? Coming from where I come from, we seen it from one style, and now it's just like it's just
hip hop and the color is a way of life. That's what's dope about
For
it.
sure.
yeah.
So speaking of the way of life, high rollers.
Facts.
What is it, man? If you can define high rollers to the few people who may not know about high rollers, what is high rollers?
We a high roller lifestyle, man.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle. It's getting what you want. You know what I'm saying? Like if you drink Henny and they don't have Henny and they offer you something else, you're like, nah, I'm good. I'll just
We smoke
you know,
friendly go getters. That's what we is.
smoke what we want, drink how we want.
We
you know,
them
do
go
what we
getters,
want.
and that's what high rollers is. You know what I
It's
mean? We
pretty
got-
much not selling for less. You know what I'm saying?
You know who y'all kind of remind me of?
Oh.
Don't kill me for this, but in your own way. Y'all remind me of y'all version of Big Timers.
Oh, word.
Oh, okay.
That's
You know what I'm saying?
manufacturing,
Yeah,
Birdman.
it's-
Hit 'em with the hands, you know what I'm saying?
Like when I see y'all
Respect
together,
it.
when I see the music, and like I always like to go see videos first
Word.
to kind
Me
of,
too,
you know what I'm
I'm the
saying,
same.
see the visual of it.
Yeah.
And like the way that y'all operate, the way that y'all move, kind of like that high quality, the high rollers, that luxurious type of life. I'm like, damn, this kind of remind me
Yeah.
of Big Timers for sure.
Well, the way we got our name was we was on a private jet flying
Yeah.
to New York back home with it, and,
Yeah, we was
and we
fortunate
landed
enough to
right
be on a
next
private
to
jet.
Ludacris. He was taking off, and 50 had just took off at the Teterboro in New
damn.
Jersey,
Yeah.
and we
Because
was there.
the planes are small. It only fits like 8 people. So
That's
the
a
pilot's
terrible
like right
flight.
there.
We told
I
us
was
so
same
we,
with a
they
pilot.
told us that we gotta wait because Luda was walking because it's a small airport. Teterboro, if you ever been to the jet field, it's not too many. So when everyone's walking with their entourage, it's just easier. So they separate everybody. So they're like, yo, wait, Luda's walking up. If y'all want to holler at him, whatever. So we hollered at him too. They came back on the plane and he's like, man, who are y'all? Like, who?
Yeah, they didn't know who we were.
We was just like at the time we were just accomplishing word life. We didn't have a name. Like they picked us. We had a record that was popping, and the company flew us out to New York to redo the record at Quad Studios. And the pilot was like, "Yo, you guys, I might as well call y'all the High Rollers because y'all some high rollers now." You know what I mean?
Oh shit.
We were like, "Shit."
Like, y'all some high
We're
rollers.
looking at each other like that's kind of corny, but we're like, "Fuck,
Yeah,
we need a name." You know what I mean? We need a name. Fuck
They said we
it.
was some high
And
rollers.
we branded the shit out of it. Feel me?
Kind of stuck.
That's dope. That's dope. I know I've flown on a private jet before. It was dope getting on.
Yeah.
Probably the worst flight of my life.
Oh yeah, because they fly lower than
Man.
normal.
First time was
it's like
was
some La
bumpy.
Bamba.
First time was bumpy. I ain't gonna hold you, but the
Yeah.
second and third was not too bad. But yeah, I feel you. It's not the
Yeah,
same.
we've
riding
been
the
fortunate
big
enough
joints.
to ride on a private jet 4 times.
Okay, got
Yeah.
you.
4 different trips or different occasions, different total things in entirety. But yeah, it's definitely a different vibe. Like the planes lower, you can see the ground. Like
Yeah,
it's crazy.
it's like it don't hold up with that wind. The wind take it where it want to go.
I think we came back went to my favorite pizza place back home and shit. I took them with us and I don't think they ever had a New York slice at the time. So we came back with like
on the plane,
fucking 12 boxes of different pieces of pies and shit. Shit was lit.
That shit was crazy.
So give me your introduction into hip hop. How did y'all two come together? Because I'm assuming you're initially from here, right?
Yeah. I'm from a real small town north of Dallas. I ended up moving to the north side of Dallas, Alpha Block. I was like 15, 16.
Okay.
So, been here for a minute. And then I was doing my own thing solo and working on a mixtape. And I caught wind to him. He was actually selling shoes and shit like that at that time.
I had just came in from New York and I had to figure it out. I was out here visiting some family and I got into a little bit of trouble, which pretty much came on vacation, stood on probation type shit. You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
So I had to figure it out, you know what I mean? And the only thing I knew from back home was to hustle. So I started calling, making phone calls and getting them all white forces, them uppies and shit, selling them shit through the hoods and meeting everybody.
That was the era of pop trunk.
I ran into them, I'm selling sneakers and shit.
Freestyling and shit. And
I met him and then we ran into each other at the club again. And through a mutual, the guy that was managing me at the time, he had us at the club. And
I invited him to the studio and he ended up killing a song. But like when I asked him to be on the song, he was like, he ready. I guess he had verses in his head or whatever. So when he knocked it out so quick, I was like, well, jump. I got like 2 more open verses. So once people got their ear to it and heard I dropped the tape, the feedback was so good. We was like, well, let's work on a project. You know what I'm saying? And then that first mixtape led to another one. And then we was like, yo, this is what they
started.
want to hear.
Well, we
Let's,
dropped
let's make some bread.
on the
Like,
second mixtape. We had dropped a record called Fuego, and it kind of took. That's how we ended up on the
Yeah.
private jets and all that. You know what I mean? So it just kind of took off pretty fast for us, and we didn't have a name or nothing. We had to figure it out.
yeah, it was just Accomplice and Word Life, and then we became the Highrollaz after that.
So like if y'all were to define your style, each other's style, how would y'all decide? How do y'all differ from each other that you feel like make y'all work so well together?
I think it's two different styles that
Yeah.
you know, he got it down south, and from what they tell me back home, like, yo, you got that East Coast mixed with the down south now, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like best of both worlds when you listen to us, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like we just, yeah, I don't know.
When we first started though, when we first got together and started,
That's like
it
a
was
question
more,
I should ask you. Like, what you
it was
think
more,
at the end of
it was
the
more at the time when the music was different at the time when we first linked up. You know what I mean? It was more about the bars and more about the lyrics
Yeah.
and all that. And now it's more about the vibe. Like you gotta have a good
More
record for the
melodic
people
types,
to
yeah.
move. And so now I think we kind of, you know, you can't really tell the difference. I think now it's like, okay, they
Now-
figured it out.
Now
No,
it seems
I
like
definitely
you.
go harder.
Oh, you definitely go hard.
Yeah,
Okay, well,
facts.
just get your shit off.
Everybody don't agree, but you know, it's all right.
No, for sure. I think we definitely in the time where they call it that kind of that swag rap, that persona rap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We in
Like
the disco vibe right now. You know what I mean? We went from the rock to now we in the disco where everybody's
go.
not trying to look good and party. You know
just
what I'm
party, and you could give some people some credit for that. Like Fabulous was a big.
saying? Facts.
He spit bars, but he was more of a swag type of rapper.
Exactly.
You got Cameron.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The pink furs, all pink, everything. He kind of brought that
Them Harlem
swag.
niggas is different though.
Yeah,
Them
you know what I'm
boys
saying?
right there, man.
And so it's like now that caught on.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
facts.
Like everywhere where you see that. Like people like, let me look good for the camera. You don't have to have the most amazing bars. You just gotta just have a good sounding
Yeah,
song.
you
And
just
people
gotta
be
have
like, hey, that's it.
They gotta have
Yeah.
a vibe to it.
You
know what I
catch
mean?
it.
But being with swag, when you got the swag rapping going on, it almost levels the playing field that anybody can just jump in and do it. Anybody who feel like, well, I dress well, I can do it. Do y'all feel like it's oversaturated? And does it feel like the ones who are really talented?
Yeah, the
Kinda get
sad part
overlooked.
about it, I think a lot of people want to be rappers because they think it's easy.
Okay.
And really, when you get into, as you elevate, progress, you see all the work that takes in it. Like,
Right.
you don't just work 8 to 5 or 9 to 6. Like, man, you nonstop, 24 hours a day trying to, get
This
some
your
money.
whole life. This
get
your
some
whole
money
life
flowing.
at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you really trying to do this, it's your whole life. So you gotta make sure you
Like the
turn
press
it into your
days,
life.
the out of towns, the roads, the promos. Like, it's work. It just ain't you drop something, put it up, and you rich.
I don't think anybody. I think people would get on and you know what I mean. They come out of nowhere with it, but I don't think it's as easy as they think it is. You know what I mean? Like not everyone could just do a Bobby Shmurda and get a YouTube beat and blow up. Feel me? Like it's not
That's
not
true.
that easy for everybody, but they can try it. It looks good if they want. You know what I mean? Like,
Speaking of Bobby Shmurda, and you brought that up, and you being from New York for a long time because of Tekashi snitching,
facts.
New York has been catching a hard rap.
That's a fact.
And
I
people
just
was-
came home 2 weeks ago. I just came back from over there and shit.
You know what I'm saying? And so people was waiting for Bobby to get out to
Yeah.
kind of be the one to say, no, look, he bringing that, we solid here. You know what I'm saying? We stay 10 toes down. Tekashi ain't part of New York. We don't represent him no more. But Tekashi come home, he go live, he get like 50-something million.
That was a
On the
given.
live.
Yeah, that was a given though.
Bobby come home, I think he did like 150-something thousand on live. Why do you feel like Bobby wasn't championed the way Tekashi was when he came live? After being so solid and taking that extra bid, why aren't we?
It's for me. It's the same reason why a lot of people know who the Joker, not know Joker and Batman, but like love the Joker for me because they love that controversy and they just wanted. I think he got that live. They wanted to see what the hell he was gonna say after all this madness. Feel me? Compared to Bobby, who held it 10 toes down. We already know. Oh, he out. That's what's up. You know what I mean? Oh shit, this motherfucker over here just dropped down. Let me see what the fuck. Let me see what the fuck he talking about. Feel me? Like, let me see what he talking about. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, that's what comes. That's how the culture is, though. Like that's how just not even hip hop, just anything. Like what's real is what's real. Like and the fake seems to always, you know what I mean?
But, so, not to defend Tekashi, but me and my cousin debate this all the time. Technically, we're in the entertainment business,
Yeah.
and I say this on a few interviews. Like when we go watch a movie, we don't expect the actor to really be living
Yeah,
the
that's a
life that they
fact.
live on the movie. We go to wrestling. We know these niggas is fake fighting.
That's
Yeah.
a fact. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We know all of this stuff fake. It's the element of feeling real that you enjoy.
Yeah. That's a fact.
And so I think that's what Tekashi.
And he's
He's
playing
more
the role.
entertaining.
He knew the role. He gotta maintain the role. Like I
That's
don't think he could have came out and did anything different.
Yeah,
Like,
I think we're in an era where it's feelings over facts nowadays, and people like kind of ignore the facts
That's
and
true.
just go with the, I just think that's the era.
but the
and,
thing
you know,
the thing I would say is whether they looked at 50 million people looked at Tekashi shit compared to the 150,000 of Shmurda, they all those same 50 million people know Shmurda was the real one. You feel me? So at the end of the day, I'm sure Shmurda's cool with that.
I feel like, in my opinion, Bobby Smurder team should have took the same marketing strategy
Oh yeah,
as
take advantage.
Tekashi.
Yeah.
Because the reason why Tekashi got that 60 million views is because he set a date and a time when he was going to go live for the first time.
That's a fact.
so people knew to expect it.
Yeah, Bobby just went live.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, oh shit, he here. Let me hop on and watch.
Yeah, you may
Definitely,
not even
yeah,
know
the
if
team.
you weren't on your phone.
Yeah,
A lot
you
of
know,
people don't understand the teamwork is what really puts on for the artist. Like the artist could do so much, but the teamwork is what makes the artist look
I mean,
good.
if you have
So
no plan,
if your team ain't
you
doing
still
it, then
playing,
yeah,
that's
I
it,
agree
though.
with that. I think a team should have took advantage of the whole thing. But
and before we get to the album, just with the Bobby Smurder thing, Bobby had two hot songs. He had the Hot Niggas joint and Bobby joint.
yeah,
Those were the two, and then he went away.
well, he had computers too with Roddy.
Okay, yeah. So like those three, 2014.
Yeah,
Does he get back to that level that he was in 2014, or is everyone just excited now because he was at the cusp of social media, but now we get over stuff so fast.
Yeah.
We
That's a
excited
fact.
that you here 3 weeks from now.
I think Roddy Rebel kind of his mans and them they kind of they already dropped the new records and all that. And I think they tap into the sound of New York right now. I think they'll be alright. I think Shmurda will be
As long
alright.
as he's dropped some heat, people are gonna definitely check out what he has to say, whatever his
New York got a
next
new
single
sound
might
right
be.
now. If he tap from 2014 was different now, but New York is on a whole different wave. And if he tap into it, he's gonna be alright. And Roddy already just dropped the record with Flex and all that. That's pretty much
For
you
sure.
know what I mean. So I think they'll be
Shit
alright.
jamming.
So then let's swing Texas to you. Mo 3 gets killed.
Hey, R.I.P.
Rest in peace, Mo 3. And like Texas just been hot. Like you think about coming here, okay, Mo 3 get killed, Boosie gets shot, Benny the Butcher gets
Benny the
shot
Butcher.
down in Houston. Like the culture of Texas, like, is changing. Like, what do you think is actually feeding into it, Texas to become? Because I mean, Texas already been a place with a whole bunch of guns. But me coming from Detroit, coming to a place with a whole bunch of guns kind of make you think twice of doing anything because you know every common person got a gun, whereas Detroit and New York, the average person don't have a gun.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying? So if somebody got a gun, they really living their life on the line. But here, being that everybody got a gun, why do you think it's just spiking up to such a dangerous level?
That's a good question.
It's becoming a big city.
I
That's
just
why.
think right now, especially all that happened during COVID and everything, right? I mean, I know the Mo3, but the Benny the Butcher
All
and
of it.
everything.
Yep.
Yeah, last year.
I mean, man, it's hostile times right now, really.
Yeah, man.
Especially you come to Texas and man, it's crazy. But the Mo3 situation, that's tragic. That's sad. And the way it all happened, and then the spark, whatever else happened after that.
To me,
that's even more sad.
it's big city vibes over here now. Like you got like Dallas used to be. It's always a big city, but I think it's like kind of becoming on the level of not on the level, but it's coming close to like the New Yorks and the Atlantas and the LAs and all that. Like there's a lot of people that's coming in from different companies and all that moving into Dallas, and
That's
moving
real.
into Texas, and so there's more people that we don't even know that's not even from here that's acting up. You know what I mean?
But
It's
it
kind of like the
seem like-
Katrina thing.
And I think Texas getting a negative light right now. I mean, we've had so much positive light for a long time. With
That's
people
true.
like Post Malone coming out, Travis Scott, a lot of good stuff happening in Houston and Dallas. Like, Yellow Pop, Trap, like the list kept going on,
crazy.
including Mo3. There was a lot of good light. I think this little negative dark cloud gonna go away, and we're gonna.
But the same cloud seems like it's over Atlanta now. look at
Yeah.
everybody that's
Yeah.
getting killed there. Because you
Yeah.
never, I mean, you knew people got busy in Atlanta, but now it seemed like,
But now you gotta also think about the style of music that's popping right now. The Lil Durks, the King Vons, and all them is that's what's in right now in the music. Music changed so quick, so like that. Within a month or 2 months, this shit changes. You know what I mean? So the narrative everybody's pushing is that drill music. You know what I mean? So everyone's talking that gang
Everybody
shit.
want to be a
Like
shooter right now.
everyone's talking that gang shit. When
Like
you talking to these young
the
kids,
rappers.
I think the guy that you know that I don't even want to bring the dude name. I don't even want to give him no light, but the dude that you know did that to Mo3, he was a young cat. He a young dude. You know what I mean? So these young dudes looking at what's popping right now, they trying to imitate the shit.
oh, like, have you ever seen that movie Colors?
Facts.
You know, you remember like a lot of people contributed like Colors was the introduction of Bloods and Crips from LA, Cali to the rest of the world. So all of a sudden you saw Bloods and Crips sets pop up all over the
Yeah.
country. Then in 2014, 15, you seen people start covering Chicago,
Yeah.
that drill beef. And it was like that hit the internet. And now you see that same,
It's everywhere.
like Fort Worth kind
Now
of
you
remind
realize
me.
the influence
everywhere.
of the music.
Yeah.
Not only that, I mean, people can front all they want, but look who's pop. Every big rapper outside of the Jay-Z's and the conscious rappers, the people that's popping, they all gang banging. Like, you know what I mean? Like they just the Crip and the Bloods and all them running this shit. Feel me? Like at the end of the day, let's keep it a buck. Like, you know what I mean? Like the people that's popping right now, since Tekashi went left, is all the Crip niggas. Everyone that's repping the blue
Even
and all
in the
that. Feel
female
me?
gang, like Cardi B's and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
They
Like,
all
that's
repping that
who's
shit.
repping?
Like it might not be the artists themselves who keeping it real, but the people that's behind them that sign and do, you know, not the whiteheads, but the managers and all them, they might fuck around and you know they got their ears to the
Do
street.
y'all feel the same pressure from a Latino Hispanic community about gang affiliation in hip hop? Or is it, or you know what I'm saying, or do because some people look at the stereotype almost like, I guess with blacks too, is that if you grow up in the inner city, you black and you Hispanic, you got a pressure of some type of gang tie
yeah.
around you.
Yeah.
Do y'all feel? Did y'all actually witness that same type of pressure?
I mean, yeah, everyone, you know, I think I had a little run-in with the police a few months ago, whatever, and they see, you know, I got a company, King of All Fresh, it's my clothing line and all that, so they see the crowns and all that, they automatically, yo, you a Latin King? You know, I'm a Hispanic, Puerto Rican kid from New York, you a Latin King. That's Latin. Knowing that's not even the king's crown, like, they're just throwing it out there like, yo, you a king. I'm like, call me whatever you want. I know I'll let my lawyer deal with that. Feel me? Like,
Well, one thing I learned about traveling a lot nationwide was that, you know, we real big on networking and tapping in with people. So when we do hit that city again, we tap in with the right people. Normally, they give us a heads up on how to move. Or,
yeah, so we never had
what we
no
doing. So
problem.
we try to plan our
People on the
little.
streets.
We try to move, you know, the right way.
Is that checking in?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm cool with it though. That's how I build relationships.
Yeah,
like
gotcha.
the rollers really
We don't have to.
made off
We
of
choose
networking.
to. I mean, like,
Yeah,
we don't
like-
have to. There's places
I
that
mean, I
we've
ain't
been
seen you
to.
in a minute. I'll tap in. Let's celebrate. I'm in your city. Like
There's
Yeah.
people that come here to the city
Tap
and
in
they
with
don't
us.
they tap in, and some people that don't tap in, and we fuck with them for years. I don't hold them
Yeah.
against it. You know what I mean?
we choose to.
Why do you think it's a benefit? Because some people may say, "Hey, man, checking in is a soft form of extortion."
Look, I met you right.
Right.
The first time I was in Atlanta was like 6-7 years ago. It was A3C event. It was our first time out there. We got booked after South by Southwest. We met Cap G. We did a song with him. Been homies with him ever since. I met you. I brought him to do the press with you.
Yep,
And so tapping in actually can create doors and opportunities.
got you.
That's good with networking.
I don't think it's a form of what you said. I think it could be. It depends on the narrative. It depends on how they trying to.
It's
who's
almost like
telling
if
the
you
story?
tapping in and all right, bro, you here, give me some money.
If it's a hater
Yeah.
talking, they're like,
Nah, yeah,
I'll
it depends on how
protect
you approach it. Some guys just be like, yo, I'm here in the city, let's go eat. You know what I mean? When Cap touched down or any of the homies that touched down, they, yo, let's go eat or something. Like, yo, we here, or what y'all got going, let's go smoke, let's go do whatever, you know what I mean? And until we gotta do what we gotta do. And I mean, we don't be like, the fuck, you ain't tap in? What the fuck going on? You know what I mean? Like, there's some people that's like that.
Yeah,
But
Detroit.
But he's also saying people,
Detroit, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But over
Hey,
here,
they some wild cities.
there's some people out here
there,
in
I ain't gonna lie.
Texas that you hear about that they get tight like that.
But I tell you this though, Trick, shout out to the big homie. That whole checking in
Nice.
thing wasn't checking in meaning come here and you got to say something to me.
yeah,
What he was saying was, your record labels is sending your artists here to get the money from the people of Detroit, where
Yeah,
the city
out
was
of
already
concerts and stuff.
struggling. but y'all not doing no feature with no artists. Y'all not getting no local artists to come perform. So if
that's a
y'all not
fact.
willing to come in and pull some people up here when you come, you can't come.
Yeah, that's a fact. I
And so
mean,
if you send your artists here, it is what it is. If y'all not willing to pull
Yeah, that
some
was
of these
that whole
artists,
no-fly zone thing.
that whole
but I
no-fly
feel like Detroit
He
is
got
now it's
points
popping.
though,
But
bro.
look at it
He
now.
got
it's
points
smaller.
though.
After he no fly zone in Detroit back in what that was 2012, 9, somewhere in there.
I think he
Look
started after Ross situation or some shit.
Now look at Detroit in the scene now and how it's pulling out of
He
there.
had good points though. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Not to say that I completely agree with
I
every
mean-
word verbatim that he said, but he had good points. What makes you think like what he said, just like anything we say, if it inspires one person to change some shit, because you can't. If nothing changes, bro.
Facts.
So it inspired some of them younger rappers. Like, man, you know what? Next time I'm over there, I'm gonna tap in. So his message actually created opportunities for some of the other cats.
Yeah, I don't feel like he meant like you have like it's a must. Like, but
Oh
I
no,
mean,
he was on some must.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
well,
see what
that
happened to Rick
no-fly
Ross.
zone.
yeah. Well, I'm
Yeah.
saying maybe was he talking about Detroit specifically or just
Yeah.
anywhere?
Detroit.
He
Yeah.
was
Okay,
just
well,
saying
yeah,
people
yeah,
come
yeah,
in
like-
selling out shows, cleaning house, ain't letting other homies open up, ain't doing no
Features,
songs.
no nothing.
And we got money.
I understand
they
that
just ain't
from the
drop
Detroit
it
point
for
of view.
free. He
Like
like
you
be
said,
open to work.
it's like you said, Detroit is struggling and there's no money in the city, but yet you taking all the money out of the city. So yeah, I definitely understand that.
But him making that sacrifice in that stands, everybody was thinking like, oh, it's bully. But now look at you, 42 dub, side of baby.
If you get your point across, people don't think it's dumb until it works and now you're a genius.
Yeah, that's normally how I
You know what
go.
I'm saying?
You crazy
if it fails,
first.
you an idiot. If it works, you're genius.
That's
Nah,
real.
that's a fact. That's that's good that he
They
did
don't want to
that.
hear about the story till you win.
That's for sure.
He held it down for the city, and now it's doing good for the city, so it worked
I
out.
salute the OG. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey man, shout out to
I
Trick.
listen to Trick on XM Radio and shit.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, he got his joint on there.
Yeah.
Shout out to him too.
That's a
That
fact.
bully music.
Yeah. So let's get to the album, man. So y'all dropped an album yesterday.
Yeah.
Facts.
The numbers is going crazy. Y'all
Crazy.
doing y'all thing, man.
Man.
Let's break down the album, man. Tell me about the album. Give me the definition on the album, and what's y'all favorite song on the album?
All in is we going all in this year. Like, you know, last year
Yeah.
we
All
COVID
in.
took a break on everything and we didn't get to do what we wanted to do and we had to put a stop on the tour and all that. So this year we're like, yo, we going all in because we didn't get to do majority of the shit last year. So we backed up right now. You know what I mean? So now
For sure.
we going all in
Plus,
with
we
it.
had reinvented the sound and the look, and we wanted to make sure we went all
Yeah,
the
like
way in with bringing better music, changing with the times. We you know,
It's like I
used
said
our
earlier,
voice
the
in
music,
melodic ways that we hadn't done
music
before.
changes like that. Like within you blink and the music changed already. You know what I mean? It's a whole new artist just popping with a whole different sound. So you kind of got to adapt. It's like the Fabulous and all that. They know how to adapt to the sound of each culture that's
Got
going
you.
on. So we kind of did, not that we tried it like that. We just kind of felt like yo, we got to, let's try something new.
It's like upgrading yourself. It's like we still us at the core,
Yeah.
but we kind of, adding a little too.
Yeah, let's
Building
level
it.
up. It's time to level up in 2021. You know what I mean? 2020 held us down. Now we going to level up.
We all in, we're giving 110% because we feel if you don't do that and you don't go all the way in, you know what I'm saying, then it's like you're going to regret it. You'll be like, damn, I could have went harder.
My favorite
Damn, I
song
coulda did more.
on the album, oh man, they all jam, like they all banging right now just because it's a new sound from us. But I mean, I would say Follow My Drip just because that's the one that set it off. I went into the studio with no nothing. I didn't even know I was gonna be in the studio that day. It was just me and the engineer, and he was like, "Yo, let's play something. Let's do something." I'm like, well, "I got nothing lined up for me. Like, fuck, let me go in the booth. Don't want to beat, and I just did my thing, freestyle the whole record, and took it back home a week later to New York. I showed all the kids. They was loving the shit. You know what I mean? And
Got you.
came back, gave it to him. He did his thing on it.
Murdered it.
Did the video, and the vibe was like, damn, you know what I mean? So from that song, it led to the rest of the songs on the album.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
we
It
wanted
led to the whole sound of the album.
You know how projects have like a theme, and we wanted that feel good theme, like.
So if you break down feel good, where are we feel good in a party atmosphere? Like
Yeah.
you see that theme, that's where we at right now.
Yeah,
It's a feel good, yeah. Like,
I want you to hear the song and feel confident about yourself.
Got
Like,
you.
yeah, follow my drip. You damn right. So when you sing the words that we saying, it makes you feel a way. So we bring in that vibe that, man, you fly. You
But we
know
also,
you fly.
we
We
also
just
got
putting it in.
them feel good records with like heavy, where it's like, I pray that my pockets getting heavy, you know what I'm saying? Like we gotta
Got
go
you.
through this grind, we gotta
The
go through the
bag gets
struggle,
heavier.
praying out, you know what I mean? Like that, there's no luck to that. That's hard work.
In the hip hop game right now, we're dropping an album. Somebody would ask, why drop an album instead of just singles? Like, why go for a full body of projects versus like rolling with the single first and then a project?
We did both, I think. I think we did both.
Yeah, I just think that this is with the fans that we have, we didn't drop enough the last year and the year before due to pandemic and certain situations where we wanted to schedule the release appropriately. We really thought COVID was gonna last like maybe a couple months. I didn't know we'd still be locked down in 2021.
For sure.
So we knew, we were like, look, people have been waiting, let's feed the fans. And we already about to, like I spoke with you earlier, we're already working on the deluxe edition.
Gotcha.
So we plan to drop 3 projects this year. This one, the deluxe, and another one in the
I think we did. A lot of the songs on the album, well, four of the songs are singles anyway. They started off as singles. And,
I got you.
So we kind of like, it's on the album now.
So y'all still kind of did it the traditional way.
Yeah, but then you also got like the little babies and all them who's dropping platinum records in the middle of COVID. Like, you know what I mean? There was an album, then they dropped the deluxe album. And a lot of artists did that last year because you got to capitalize not just on the single, but you got to capitalize on all the music right now because we can't do the shows and all that.
Kind of like a remix.
Got you. So quick question. Do you feel bad for artists? I know for me, I feel bad for artists who are actually popping for the first time in the middle of COVID. Like, for example, Erica Banks, shout out to her. The Bust It is going viral. But think she didn't get that South by Southwest experience.
Limited on shows.
She ain't been to LA to party out there. She ain't been to New York yet. It's all you can really tour is Texas, Georgia, and Florida.
What's crazy is we had dropped Follow My Drip in November of 2019. And then the video and all that came out, I think, the beginning of 2020. And about a couple weeks later, everything was shut down. So we've been on the South by Southwest. They actually booked us. We on the website and all that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So this was our first time with a record that our lines is ringing for to actually go out there and do it the right way, show up. You know what I mean? But we didn't get the chance to do it. So I definitely feel for all of them, and I feel for us too because it's like, damn. And you can't blame nobody for that. That's just some shit that happened. Feel me?
But I'll tell you this: for COVID though. I hate that COVID happened, but I think South by Southwest needed COVID to happen.
Oh yeah, for
it needed a pause for 2 years.
It getting wilder every year,
and it wasn't breaking artists like it used to.
Yeah, I've been going to South by Southwest for probably 10 years,
and it started to kind of. It
was
like
getting worse and worse. It was getting too
got
crazy.
Real saturated with just a bunch of
They were letting it run too crazy, and I think
questioning, is it worth it?
Yeah,
I remember that was like
honestly,
I just want to get to that
when I first started fucking with South by Southwest. Again, the music was different. Like there was a lot of rock bands and big bands, and then there was not too many hip hop clubs. Now, the last year that I went before COVID, now hip hop took over. What's hip hop got? We got a whole bunch of motherfucking crazy people running through the streets and don't give fighting everywhere and shit. So I think hip hop was all hip hop took over South by Southwest. I think that's what happened. So now they're able to clean this shit up.
No, that's for sure. So with the deluxe album, when do y'all think y'all will roll out the deluxe? Like, what's the mindset with that? How? Because I see like deluxe is like a new thing. Like I saw Eminem do deluxe.
It's like a remix.
It's like a new remix to it, and I think it's dope. Because I mean, you think about it back in the day with CDs, you didn't have the luxury of, okay, I just want to redrop this and add more songs. It was too expensive.
Yeah, facts.
Repressing, repackaging, say redistributing it, getting it all to all the stores across the country. But digital allows you to modify the album immediately. So, like, is there a formula that y'all look at with the deluxe album?
With us, like, we're big on feeding our supporters. So we always check analytics, read comments.
Got you.
Check the DMs and emails. Actually talk to people in press, and they'll be like, "Man, I could hear so and so on this song," and we're so networked enough. We may know so and so that could hear the song and be like, "Man, I need a verse on that." So that's where you get remixes and certain songs with a different producer and a certain artist because that's what the people want to hear. We just like feeding them, and I think that's what got us to this plateau.
Gotcha.
Time frame wise, I think within a month tops, we probably gonna drop the deluxe.
Maybe 420. I mean, maybe
Hey man,
a month tops. Yeah.
But I'm like, you know what? I recently started smoking.
Ooh, where you
for the first time in my life. Like I went to college. I grew up in Detroit.
You're a football player. You didn't smoke to kill the pain, man.
Man, dog, man. It's just like, bro, I was just always, No, man, you would be surprised. Niggas was smoking before the
Everybody's
game.
smoking. I bet the coaches are
You
smoking.
know what I'm saying? Shoot, football, bro, people blow a lot. I mean,
Big
if you're an
Yeah.
athlete, you banging your body.
Yeah, what I'm
Weed was the
saying
best
for the
thing.
aches.
So I'm glad they're not
For the
testing for
bones.
that in the
I
NFL
seen.
no more.
You know, we done some talent buying, and we brought A Boogie to the city, and I ain't gonna
that's
say
family.
I ain't gonna say his name. I ain't gonna put it out there, but it's a big Dallas
yeah,
star
we can't.
football was in there, big blowing. You know what
Ah,
I mean? So
yeah.
I know how
No
they give
way.
it up. Feel me?
Yeah, for
No
sure.
way.
But man, I'm gonna have to come over, man, catch a studio session, just a vibe, man, and build with y'all boys, cause you know I'm trying to get over on that
Yeah, I like
side
that.
and network on
We
that
ain't too
side.
far
You'll
either from the
you
north.
probably walk in, but
Okay.
you definitely gonna fly out.
Hey,
You
bro,
gonna
you know what
float
I'm saying?
out.
I'm a lightweight.
Yeah, you gonna
Y'all best
float.
right. I'll be out of there from the
Just
contact.
don't rock with the edibles. That's a whole
That's
different
you
level.
know what? That's my thing.
Yeah, I love
Edibles
that.
is my thing.
To
I
me,
love them
that's
shit.
too like I got shit to do. Like edibles.
Nah, I don't
like,
even. I know you got
Bro.
to time it right. You got to time hit it at the end of the night.
I don't know how to time it right. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, you got to time
I
that
can't
shit.
take edibles
up.
and be out and about unless I got to drive it. So I was in Atlanta. I interviewed Money Moo. You know, got the
Yeah.
hidden joint. I was in Atlanta. I want
And
to say like
that song's vibing. My
it's
DJ showed
going.
me that. Yeah.
So I was out there in October. My brother, I lived there in Georgia 2 years before I came here.
Okay.
My brother's still out there, and I went to his house, and his partner made edibles, and the brownie was like literally this big,
Straight.
a little square cube.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, this ain't nothing. I threw that boy back. My brother's like, did you just eat that whole thing? I'm like, bro, I ate the whole thing. He was like, you shouldn't have did that. I'm like, this shit is this small. Mind you, I'm there for his birthday party. It's like 5 o'clock.
Word.
Next thing I know, I wake up. It is 9 o'clock, and I'm in a room full of people around me, and I'm just stuck.
See, that's why I
can't
learned
get
how
my
to
ass
time
up,
it.
bro.
I learned how to time it. My first time on it too. We was in Denver doing
Was in
a
Denver.
show.
It's
And
just
we didn't know at the time
they made it
legal. Right when
Yeah,
they made it before recreational, but legal. Feel me? So
Gotcha.
we were on the way back to the airport. We bought all this shit from the dispensary. Our first time in the dispensary legally. We
eating
having a
gummies
good
and
time.
shit.
We got too much shit now. Feel me? So we're like, damn, like.
Hold on 1 second. Hey, just remember we on floor 33. Just letting you know. He going to get them and get stuck down
Every
there.
floor.
We all these edibles. We on the way to the airport. At that time, we didn't know we could just. I mean, I don't know what I'm supposed to say, but we didn't know we could just throw it in the bag and shit and fly over here with it. Feel me? So we trying to eat all this shit before we think we go to jail. And so by the time we get through the security
stupid
line,
shit.
by the time we get to the
Stupid shit.
gate, I think my eyes was more red than this shit. He can't even walk. Like, you know what I mean? We sitting there looking.
I was like, fuck the
melted.
flight.
We looking crazy.
I'm
like,
just gonna stay here.
we were like sitting there stuck. We didn't want to go to the hotel.
Thank God the flight was delayed.
Yeah, facts.
So like 2 hours, we were just stuck.
That's how I learned how to time my edible intake.
I see it now. Like, I think what Jersey just
a few days ago, all the
Oklahoma
way.
City.
Oklahoma City right here.
Oklahoma not recreational though, but Jersey just made it.
I mean, it's what medical right now.
Yeah.
But
It's like New Mexico too.
Yeah, loophole. That's the first step before you just say, "Hey, everybody."
Oh yeah.
But how long do you think it's gonna be before it's just federally legal, where you can just blow anywhere?
Shit,
if you could guesstimate a year.
Man, I don't know if they're gonna make more money off that or locking people up.
Within the next. Nah, I don't think exactly. They're decriminalizing everything. So I think
they let a lot of. I know Chicago, Illinois, like let.
They're not making no money off weed. You know what I mean? And not only that, you got Oregon or whatever state legalized crack, cocaine, heroin, all that shit. And they made it recreational, so now they're trying to make money all across the board with it. So I think it'll be within the next 5 years, honestly.
So your guess, 2026, everything will, at least weed will be federally legal everywhere.
21, 5 years. Yeah, that's a good prediction.
About 5 years.
Do you think they would ever make cocaine legal?
No. I think you gotta go to Oregon for that.
Do you think they should make it federally legal?
Nah, I don't think that's.
Why not?
That's when you smoke weed, you're not doing no harm to nobody. Feel me? Like when you doing them hard drugs, you potentially killing people. You know what I mean?
You only potentially kill people because of the all the stuff you got to do to go get it, because it's not just readily available.
If you can buy it at the store, you can probably cut down some robberies type shit.
Walmart got cocaine and alcohol on this aisle. You just go get the shit. There's no need to back alleys. A nigga might try to rob you. You ain't got to smoke. It ain't no heightened. You don't feel heightened when you go buy alcohol. Which
not only that, I think. Well, I mean, alcohol take you to a different level. But when you on them hard drugs and shit, I just think people act different. And
shit, people act different on alcohol too.
That's true, but I mean, Yeah, I don't know.
Yo.
But nobody ever feel threatened or their life in danger to go buy alcohol.
When you doing drugs, when you doing hard
Yeah.
drugs, you doing the most to try to get them hard drugs. And you're gonna do whatever you got to do to get that dollar to go and buy that hard
That's
drug.
what he was saying. If it was accessible, you would do the most.
But you still got to do the most to get the money because them same crackheads not gonna have the money whether
That's
it's in
true.
the store or not.
But then I think a lot of people may not want to be enticed to do drugs because it's so easily to do it now.
Well, that's
Now
true
you're not as cool.
because I know a lot of people in Denver when it first began. I know a lot of people that lived there that they didn't even smoke. It was a lot of out of towners that flew over there and lived out there, and there was big smoking and shit.
Yeah.
But I think you might be on to that. But I mean, I think it'll be something that's like alcohol. Some people want to drink it and some people don't. You know what I mean?
It's
People
real.
that do drink it, they might go hard with it. Some people just might sip on it and whatever. Like, I don't know.
That's real, man.
I think leave them hard drugs. Bring the weed. Fuck all the other shit.
What about I leave it at this? Shrooms.
I fuck with some shrooms. I like them shit.
never did shrooms.
I
never did shrooms.
went on a whole binge on them shit. I love that shit.
But I do want to try DMT.
You going hard with it. You on some
Yeah,
Phin
I
Los in
never
Las
did that
Vegas
either.
shit. You know what I mean? Like,
I want to try DMT, but
never did
the
that either.
actual DMT, not synthetic, but
synthetic,
go
yeah.
somewhere where they actually pulling it from the toe.
yeah.
I listen to Mike Tyson them talk about it all the time. Where he
Right.
said he
He
saw
said he would
God.
do that shit right.
Yeah, him and Joe Rogan.
Honestly, it opens up your mind though. Like a lot of
They-
artists,
They
painters,
said
and
like use it, like different parts of. I think it's like a Netflix special where a bunch of celebrities talking about tripping.
Yeah,
I think Jean-Michel Basquiat, he was big on heroin and hard drugs, but created some of the most amazing artwork
I'm not
pieces. Like,
hopping on no heroin.
nah, none of that. But I'm saying when you take
Hell
them
no.
type of drugs, it opens up your
Yeah.
mind to a different avenue and
Them
shit.
niggas
Start
never,
banging
and they
this
never come back either.
They never come back.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm straight, man.
DMTs and all that shit. I don't know. I don't know too much about it, so I'm like, fuck all that.
Hey,
I don't
man.
know. I ain't wild out like that, man. I can't do it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, at least say what they say with DMT. Number one, it's not a recreational drug. So this ain't a type of drug that you put in your life to try to do every day.
Yeah.
It's almost like, I don't know if y'all seen like that ayahuasca tea stuff where people go down South America and they go in these camps and they drink these teas and they go on this like trip. It's like pretty much like
Yeah, it's a head trip.
a head trip that you do every once in a while. It's not a
But they said
day-to-day type of
on the
drug.
DMT shit, I think if you take too many hits in your life, you become like mentally something
I
in your
believe
brain.
that with anything you would
Legally
just
insane type shit.
Legally insane,
It's a
yeah. I think if you
chemical.
take over a certain amount of hits or some shit like that. So yeah,
that's why I ain't tried it
Fuck
yet.
your
'Cause
world up.
all I've did is weed. So
That's what
I
that's
can't.
what I'm saying. When you tell me some shit like that, I'm like, well, shit. Fuck around and they tell you 20 times. The second time, you fucking fuck. You're like, oh,
Into the
damn.
multiverse.
For sure, man. But Highrollaz, man, I appreciate y'all come sitting down with me.
Yeah.
Hey, man, congrats on the new album.
Facts.
I gotta
Appreciate that.
come get some of that merch.
Facts.
I gotta hook me up, man. Invite me over,
Send me your
man.
sizes. I got
We got you.
for
I'll
sure.
get the address to the studio. We there every Wednesday. Pull up. Y'all be sure to check us out. HighRollersLifestyle.com. KingofAllPress.com. That's the clothing line we always rocking. The High Rollers Texas on every platform.
Highrollaz TX.
And you know what I'm saying? It's a mogul state of mind. It's Mogul Media Live. We right here, Rollers.
Hey, for sure.